What's poppin', Palaxy? Today on the Bounty Board, we dive into Bob Iger's comments about the future of Disney, Dave Filoni's controversial comments about the Force, and reflect on what we loved the most about Marvel's Phase 5. So go ahead and kick up that warp drive, and let's punch it! Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Guardians of the Palaxy podcast. My name is MT, and I'm here with my wonderful friends, Whitney Van Laningham and Tommy Bechtold. What's going on, gang?
Hello,
Hi.
everyone.
Hello.
MT, you greeted me, and then my computer also greeted me with two, you have to update your computer before it dies greetings, right? In real time.
It's the best greeting that you could ever get from your computer. It's the update message.
It was so
I've been
good.
dodging mine for so long. I need to do that, man.
I dodge updates for my computer like drafts in the Vietnam
Yes.
War, baby.
Yes.
I'm an update dodger.
Palaxians, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I am moving, literally. All of my everything in here is boxes. Whitney came over, and producer Brett came over yesterday to help me pack. And then we also drank beer. I'm in shambles. So I'm
And
going
ate
to...
pizza.
And ate pizza. And
I ate so
beer.
much of that pizza, by the way. I had like 4 slices because it was good.
Somebody had to. Now, all that to say, we're going to do this show today because we're pals. And the whole point of Guardians of the Palaxy is not to be prepared. It's to be a pal.
Exactly.
And when you're a true pal, what do you even have to prepare? There's already the love in your heart, baby.
Right?
And that is an excuse I just made up now for how half-baked.
That we all endorse and agree with.
Let's introduce ourselves, right? I'm Tommy Bechtold.
And you're here to say you're moving in a major way.
I'm moving to New York any day.
Welcome to the East Coast, brother.
I can't wait to be back on the East Coast. I can't wait. My sister is here somewhere in my house, packing, judging, waiting, watching. Hopefully she's
just hiding.
Lying in wait.
Waiting
to strike.
Kill. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, dude, and Tommy and I were actually talking because you guys are going to be so close when Tommy moves that I feel like I should come out and visit you guys, and we should do a little in-person Palaxy.
There shall be a
where
summit.
we all just hold hands.
Yes. Oh my God.
The East Coast Summit.
Our powers.
The East Coast Palaxy Summit.
Well, there was a summit, guys. The New York Times had a bit of I guess a free speech summit. I don't know. Elon Musk was there in a bomber jacket, telling people to F off.
Go yourself.
Now, here's my thing. I think Elon Musk is an idiot, and I think that he is, if not a confirmed anti-Semite, he's certainly dancing around it like a person at a Jewish wedding, ironically, doing the Hava Nagila. He's circling it over and over again. And he made some inflammatory comments about people advertising on X or pulling their advertisement. And the thing is, the quote got pulled out of context. Not out of context, but it was missing a key piece of information where he was like, if you want to blackmail me by pulling advertisement, then go F yourself. All inappropriate. But I do think that the key point of him saying, if you want to blackmail me, does kind of at least frame his thing as not an unhinged, he's definitely a Bond villain, but it was everyone just kept reporting it as Elon to everyone, go F yourself. He was having a personal meltdown. And I'm like, well, yes, he's bad. And what he's saying is completely irresponsible for a person in charge of $1 billion company. But what he is saying is if you want to try and use advertising to get me to change my bad boy ways, you could go F yourself. All stupid. But important for the context that he did mention if he was being blackmailed. Now, he specifically went after Bob.
Bob?
As in Iger, we assume.
Ooh.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think it was Bob Evans, the sausage baron. I believe
I thought you were talking about Bob from the Incredibles, Mr. Incredible.
I had pitched this idea. I wanted to talk. We have we want to get to our Phase 5. Don't worry, that's coming. We're gonna talk about what we love about Phase 5. We want to cover a couple of little newsy items first. The first being Bob Iger had this, I guess, I don't know how I'd refer to it. I'm looking at my phone because I want to read it exactly right. He had an interesting quote that I think it was stupid. So I'm going to read what he said.
Same.
So at the same, sorry to sew these two thoughts together. Again, like I said, my brain is a connecting sequence of noodles right now. Bob Iger also was at that same conference where he then he praised Elon Musk because all rich people just can't not suck. It's just in their DNA. He said that Disney has lost sight. Creators at Disney have lost sight of what their job should be. Entertain first, not messages.
Creators lost sight of what their number one objective needed to be. What I have really tried to do is to return to our roots, which is, remember, we have to entertain first. It's not about messages.
Houses can't be alive. Doors, floors, drawers, stay put.
They shouldn't have hopes and dreams. You shouldn't let them have dreams or say anything about the state of society.
If a house dreams, I'm out.
If the house has a dream, I'm out.
So then he adds, stories infused with positive messages for the world can be great. No shit. You're worth $5 billion. That's the pearl of wisdom you came out with? Stories with positive messages for the world can be great?
They can be.
They can be. Me personally, I don't like them. I want negative messages. I like the movie Requiem for a Dream is what I'm into.
Disney's Requiem for a Dream. It's still starring Ellen Burstyn.
Yes. And Jennifer, was that Jennifer Connelly? I can't remember. Poor Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly.
She's so beautiful. Okay.
She
Also,
really is.
The great messages can be great, positive messages, but that can't be the primary job. Bob, again, just like Elon, no one is making you talk. No one is forcing you to weigh in on this. You just said, you know what? People need to know what Bob Iger is thinking right now. And I've got to weigh in. And also the timing with the Marvels is so weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's like just subtweeting the Marvels. It's like, go fuck yourself, bro. Just stop it. And I also don't understand this because I'm like, okay, so, and I know that obviously Disney and Pixar are two different companies, duh. But like, okay, so you're telling me that like the message of Toy Story 3 wasn't too important to the overall film. No. Like that was one of the most like emotionally beautiful films I've ever seen in my life. Toy Story 3 is like amazing. And there are so many emotions and feelings.
It was the teddy bear. It was all about the maniacal teddy bear.
Yeah.
In the end, a murderous teddy bear will always outweigh any plot points. Was that 3 or 4?
Positive messages about growing up.
I think that was 3.
That was 3. Good. I nailed it.
Lotso loving the fucking evil bear. I cannot stand that, man.
OMT. Lots of loving is what I call you in our group chat. So here's my thing. What do you guys think about? I mean, like, obviously, I think the 3 of us clearly, based on our initial reactions, that's a stupid quote. It's
really dumb. What do you mean? Every story has a message. Yeah. Literally every story. Like, how do you tell a story without a message?
Exactly. Like, what's kind of nuts to me about that quote is that like your entire MCU that you've built, Kevin Feige has purposely made like the decision to infuse all of the movies since basically the beginning with messages. Like, for example, the Thor movies are basically this whole allegory about like colonialism and like how like, people coming in on other people's land and like how that affects like, how other people feel, like Malekith. Like all the freaking Asgardians moved in the universe and like basically did what Christopher Columbus did to the Native Americans. And so like we sort of see that in Spider-Man No Way Home, that was like a refugee thing. Same with a couple of other recent Marvel films. But like the point is like in the biggest example of all, is Guardians of the Galaxy, that trilogy. Like that whole like James Gunn like made sure that like compassion and like this theme of family.
Yeah, and like that family is you can choose your family. You don't have to be born into your family. You don't have to accept your shitty god dad who just who weaponizes Brandy, you're a fine girl. That's horrible. That's like the most egregious thing that ego does is weaponize and make Brandy, you're a fine girl a negative emotional song. I fucking love that song. So like go fuck yourself, ego. But I love Guardians because of that, because it's like, I mean, that's literally how the Palaxy found each other, is like we became a family because, you know, like that's just, we loved each other and we found each other, and it's so important to have that in your life. And how is that positive message a bad thing? Like what?
Yeah. And like one of the biggest like fears that I have when it comes to this quote is that like this type of mentality that Bob Iger's sort of alluding to is very much the type of mentality that I feel that Sony has with their live action movies. You know, obviously only live action because like the Spider-Verse is amazing.
That's such a great point.
But like, you know, your Morbiuses and like your Venoms.
They say absolutely nothing. They were too caught up in Morbin time to try to come up with a message.
But it seems like Sony prioritizes like getting big name stars like attached and like just making sure that it looks cool, but there's no actual like substance to their movies oftentimes. And like that's like their biggest flaw in my opinion. So like I just don't want Marvel Studios to regress back to like to the mid 2000s days where we're getting mediocre movies that were just like, all right, all flash, no real message. So like I think that Bob Iger needs to reevaluate. Sorry, that's my whole spiel.
No, I think that's a great. I agree completely with what you're saying. Yeah, I think that is like. I think if we put out messageless, kind of like, I guess, aesthetically looking cool shit, it's like there's a place in art for that. But like kids are raised on movies and TV, and they form outside of just, God forbid their parents aren't perfect role models. They form worldviews based on like heroes and villains or antagonists and protagonists. And this weird fear, it feels like he watched that South Park special and took it literally.
Yes. Oh my God. So many idiots took that literally, first of all. Second of all,
wait, which special?
Here's my deal. Oh, sorry. The South Park special, it was like this whole like anti-woke, like blah, blah, blah. But it was supposed to be satire. It was making fun of people who are like, keep wokeness out of my media. Like, it's just so dumb. And that's honestly what I do feel like Bob Iger was ultimately saying with that, like saying that, but not saying it, because the biggest thing about Disney movies in particular, and especially Disney movies, is that fairy tales throughout history and time have always been fables. They've always had a moral. So like if you even go back to like all the way back in the day, Hansel and Gretel, that's immortal. Hansel and Gretel are immortal. They're undead. They can never die.
They sure were mortal.
But there's a moral to that story. There's a moral to all of Aesop's fables, you know, and then there's Hansel and Gretel, and there's the Little Mermaid. Like any Hans Christian Andersen, any Aesop's fables, they all have morals. There's always a moral to the story. Same with Pinocchio. We were just talking about Pinocchio. Okay, Pinocchio, that has a moral also. All of these stories do. So he's like, oh yeah, let's go back to a utopia where it was just entertainment and none of this woke shit. And it's like, bro, it has fairy tales by their nature as a genre always have a message. That is literally the nature of telling these kinds of stories. I just can't imagine someone so stupid that you think that there's a golden era of non-woke media when it's like, bitch, have you read Old Man Kangaroo? Have you? I have. There was a message at the end of that. Like,
in a way, is it not a weird, to use a word weaponized by the anti-woke, is it not virtue signaling to like dumb people who want to ban books and are scared and don't want their kids to learn about the atrocities that have happened in American history? Is he not signaling to them that it's safe to come back to Disney now? It's like, we're never going to make you deal with a preteen girl going through adolescence again. It's just going to be It's literally just going to be us making up a fictional tale of Pocahontas rather than the real life version of it. It's safe to come back, guys. Come back to Disney. There'll be no messages. The messages will just be radically positive, but like not based in any reality. There are no bad white people.
Yeah, the message of the animated Pocahontas was just white people are kind of good, actually.
Well, hey,
like that was literally the fucking message.
If they're handsome enough, they'll stop you from being killed by another worse white person. If they're handsome.
Yeah, if the handsome white person stands up, they can defeat the ugly white person.
Right.
Totally.
Who in real life was her husband in real actual life.
They did Pocahontas so dirty. That movie is so terrible.
But no, I really like what Whitney was talking about before about like the whole fairy tale aspect, because like when the thing that I really like about the MCU is that like, they're basically creating the modern day myth. Like I say that all the time, like, like we're living through like millennia from now, after whatever apocalypse comes, and like society's like there's a bunch of dirt on top of the old society, and like all the archaeologists are looking through what we're doing, and they find all the Marvel movies. They're gonna be like, oh my god, look at these ancient myths of like gods and this Iron Man, Tony Stark, and
Iron Man is basically our version of Zeus. Like he's like the modern,
essentially, yeah.
I mean, it's like we come up with these new gods and these new mythologies all the time, because that's what humans do. That's how humans tell stories, and telling stories is literally the oldest form of entertainment known to man. When you had nothing, you made cave drawings, bro. You told stories on the walls of caves before you even had language to express yourself. Go fuck yourself, Bob.
There is one older way that people entertained themselves. The oldest profession.
Oh, come on.
True.
Fine.
Are you talking about Mon Cala?
Yeah. I'm talking about pebbles in a board. And get rid of all your pebbles. I think the moral of the story of this story is that messages are good. Kids need modeling outside of just their parents and elders in their direct life, and animation and material produced by giant conglomerates like Disney is a good way to teach a moral code that is on the side of kindness and compassion, if they choose to do that. Or they can be scared and just make Cocomelon. And
I do want to add to that, because like I got to go see James Gunn speak a couple years ago. That's like the day that me and James Gunn met. Greatest day of my life.
Yes.
Coolest thing ever.
Hell yeah.
But like when he spoke, he talked about like the responsibility of artists and the responsibility of like, people like in positions like him to create narratives that help humanity. And like that should be one of the main goals of like whatever you put you put your heart into it, and you don't quit, you don't stop, but like you also do it for the goal of benefiting everyone else. And like that is what that why Guardians and like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, that's why those projects work more so than most other projects in Marvel and DC. It's because people can relate to it. Like it's about characters more so than, all right, here's CGI, here's this whole big like comic book adaptation, like this huge Hollywood blockbuster event. We care about these people, like, and that's why people go see these movies. It feels like it could happen to any of us in a weird way, and that's why Stan Lee, that's basically what Stan Lee crafted the Marvel universe after. He's like, I want it to feel like the world outside your window, like something that you can see in real life. And that's why people love characters like Spider-Man, because like he's just a relatable dude.
He's just a kid.
Yeah,
exactly. He's just a boy.
He's just a
can't hold a girlfriend. Like that is the type of vibe that like we should be going towards and not running away from.
I agree.
So yeah, I think that Bob Iger should reconsider.
Now,
shut up, Bob.
Bob, shut up. Now, there was another interesting little tidbit that came out of the news this week from the newly minted Star Wars Generalissimo, Dave Filoni. And David Q. Filoni.
Another hatted man.
And I don't know the exact quote. Maybe MT, you can fill me in. But it's something along the lines of everyone can use the Force.
Yeah, so basically it was basically just underscoring what has been around in Star Wars for since like George Lucas. This is basically George Lucas's intention of that, like basically because the Force is around everything, that like as long as the, you know, and because everyone has midichlorians in their body to some extent, that like anyone can wield the Force, because like it's just like something that you just have to train yourself to be able to do. And a lot of people got upset that like people are like, oh no, Disney's sort of changing the rules of the Force and like letting anyone be a Jedi if they wanted to. And like I don't understand why people are upset.
Why are you guys gatekeeping being a Jedi? It's a made-up job.
Exactly.
It's just a bunch of religious guys, honestly. Like,
exactly.
What are you doing? Like, stop gatekeeping midichlorians, bro.
I think that my biggest thing is like the idea to me from, you know, kind of more emphasized in the prequels was like the Force exists everywhere. I mean, I know Obi-Wan says that in A New Hope, but it's like it's really kind of made through the midichlorian tests and other things. It's really hammered home in the prequels. But like the difference is it's like you have to just do a crazy amount of work to be able to use it. And that's why most people don't do it. Is because it's really hard to do that work and most people don't want to. That's why most people aren't brain surgeons. That's why most people aren't rocket scientists. Because it's not because they can't be. Legally, anyone that is not a convicted felon could become
legally,
a doctor.
Tommy and I could become your brain surgeons, but you don't want us to. Like,
my God, I would pay you guys extra to work on me. I need a lot of work done
There's
up
not
here.
a ton stopping me from being a brain surgeon. It's other than emotional intelligence, regular intelligence, and artificial intelligence. The big three.
And I'm preparing a move right now. So like I just
getting ready to move. Otherwise you would totally be becoming a brain surgeon right now.
My poor sister is just trying her best to move me across country, and I'm like, oh Wendy.
I see a doggy came in. I saw him. Sneaky.
Hi, Wendy.
Handle your dog. I yell at my roommate now about his dog in a very aggressive way. We're recording, Art. My poor sister is like, how much longer will you be recording for? I'm like, this show doesn't have a time limit.
Yeah, we don't have like a start or an end time, honestly.
Sometimes we record for days.
I mean,
for days.
Yeah.
This could be a 24-hour episode if we wanted to.
an hour, I don't know. You know what? It's times like that I really appreciate the fact that we have some great sponsors on this show. Some wonderful,
we sure do.
Wonderful sponsors.
We have the best fake sponsors in the whole world.
All right, you got that D20, homie?
I got it. Okay, y'all. We got the dice. We're going to figure out who in the fake universe is sponsoring us today.
Hell yeah.
Boop. Okay, so this one was an 18. So an 18.
Okay.
18 is hand spun. Hand spun.
Oh, okay. First, we're going to do the ad, then I'm going to get into my hand spun issues.
And then I rolled a 13, so it's potato peelers. Hand spun potato peelers.
You know what? I want to try this. I don't know how this is going to happen, but like, I have a weird. Okay. Listen, everybody. My name's Jedediah. All right, I'm from the Amish community, and I got a bone to pick with all y'all city slickers out there. All right, your potato peelers. I know how they're made. I know how they're made in the big city and the big industrial factories. I don't believe in that. I like the hand spun potato peelers, my friend. My wife Edna, she spun that herself all night to create this potato peeling device out of wool, okay? It's not even hard, it's out of wool. And my God, it's filled with the fibers of love, and I've never been able to peel my potatoes as arduously and painfully, but with a lot of Amish spirit before in my life. So get you your hand-spun potato peelers today, or my name isn't Jedediah, Ezekiel, Malachi, Samuel, other Bible name, Jones. The end.
Okay. Immediate follow-up ad. Have you or a loved one been injured by a hand-spun potato peeler? You may be entitled to compensation.
Hi, I'll be your lawyer. Here at Handspun Potato Injuries, thelawfirm.com, we specialize in treating injuries for Amish people. Our promo code this week is Edna, in honor of Jedediah's wife.
Yes.
And the promo code EDNA for 30% off your lawyer fees.
We love you, Edna. Praying for you.
We love you, Edna. Praying for you, girl.
MT, wonderful job.
Thank you.
So
You
good.
yourself. That was also an excellent
expecting the
follow-up.
accent. I was not expecting it at all. That just killed me.
All of that was a delightful treat. Speaking of a delightful treat, Phase 5 is something that can best be described as polarizing to adult men on the internet who have not been kissed within the last 5 decades. That's who it's polarizing for.
I have not been sweetly kissed even once.
The rest of us wake up, we put orange juice in our cereal like everyone else. We butt chug a cold brew and we take on the day. But for some, I'm going to say mostly male, 42 to 57-year-old age range, the MCU Phase 5 has really torn them apart in a way that I simply must say, you're whining like a little bitch, guy. Get off it. But,
Get off it. I was going to say a moment of silence for them, but nah, they don't deserve it.
No, for them. I think, as we did last week when we went through Phase 4 and said a little something sweet about everything, and we can each take turns again. I thought that worked really well. We're going to go through Phase 5, and boy, oh boy, let me just take the grenade, okay? Let me jump on the grenade, and I'll do Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Hell yeah!
I honestly did like that. I did like that movie. I don't get why people hate it so much. I don't know. I thought it was fine.
We're being positive. I will say there were times in that movie where it felt like none of the actors had met in real life and that they were all just talking to green screens. I will say that. However, the little goo man that if you drank him, you learned how to speak the language.
Drink the ooze.
Drink the ooze. The little goo man stole my heart, and I will never forget him.
He looks like he would be a character on either Our Real Monsters or Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yes.
One of those 2 projects.
Something in the Monsterverse. But MT, you do have love for Ant-Man and the Wasp, so why don't you pay a better compliment than what I did?
No, I think that, obviously, Quantumania has its flaws. It's not a perfect film. But, I think that it's still a fun time. It definitely is not the same, heist vibe as the first 2 movies, which I love a lot. But, I think that, for what it was, as an exploration into the quantum realm, as, a little teaser for what could potentially be fleshed out in future projects, I thought it was fun. I just feel like Marvel should probably make it, a quantum realm type show to make us care about that universe more.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
If they got someone like, James Cameron, who would never probably do something like this, but someone that is really into crafting universes and just to really expand the quantum realm, sort of like a Pandora type situation, I feel like there's a lot of promise there.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick. I would watch the shit out of that. That'd be amazing.
Because I personally adore the Micronauts Marvel comics when Marvel had the rights to that Hasbro.
Oh, that's yeah.
Subatomica, that whole universe has so much promise. You could have a whole Star Wars scenario, because that's basically what those comics were. They were basically Star Wars style stories within the quantum space. And I just think that Marvel could have their own Star Wars. Kevin Feige loves Star Wars so much. Why not just make a whole little Star Wars saga?
Why don't you marry it?
And why don't you marry it, Kevin? The quantum realm.
But no, I just think that obviously Paul Rudd is amazing and all those people. So I think that it's just a really fun movie. I don't think that it's not terrible, but I think it's really, really fun.
I love that we basically learned from that movie that Michelle Pfeiffer has fucked both Kang the Conqueror and Bill Murray, whose name is escaping me right now. But that's just
I don't.
Lord
Dude, what was his name? My
Lord,
God,
Lord
Lord
Krylar.
Krylar.
Yeah, she got Krylar and Kang. I was like, girl, you are doing some work down in the quantum realm, and I have respect for you. Get what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for her, honestly. Because I'd be hurting in the quantum realm.
She got some kisses. She's okay.
She did just fine. Now, let me bring things down a notch. Secret Invasion. Who wants to talk about that one?
Oh,
dear Lord.
Oof.
Olivia Colman was awesome. Sorry.
Olivia Colman fucking ruled. Secret Invasion was just, oh man, like it needed so much more time to cook. It felt like just everything was like, what the fuck what do you mean by this? Why is this happening? This is all like the dumbest, worst shit ever. And then the CGI at the end was just like, oh, come on.
That was
but yeah, but like I loved Olivia Colman's performance. I can say that. And I've said this ad nauseum. You guys have definitely heard me say this 700 times, but like the Nick Fury and Vara scenes were so beautiful.
Yes, I love
They
those.
were so impeccably acted,
so
well written, so well shot. Just like the obviously the shot where they both shoot at each other and intentionally miss is so well done. I think that was honestly one of like the most like emotional scenes since WandaVision, honestly, in my opinion. That scene stacked up with the similar scenes from WandaVision where we saw Wanda and Vision talking. It was just such an honest depiction of their love and their relationship and their history and their feelings and what they are to each other. And I just, oh my God, I thought that part was beautiful. So that was the nicest thing I can say about Secret Invasion. Everything else, I don't know if I can say.
That's basically what I would say as well. Because like I really enjoyed the Vara and Nick Fury dynamic. And like it's just a shame that like Vara was not even mentioned at all in the Marvels.
I know.
Like they went up on the ship and it's like, all right, where's Vara?
He was just like in a good mood and joking around after Maria Hill died, which that was the worst part of the show. That was the worst part. They did her so goddamn dirty. I am so mad at it.
Hey, this is positivity. Moving
yes. But at least she died in a very there's a lot of people around.
She died in a way. This is why I'm like, everyone who wants to like, I mean, we don't get these comments obviously on Palaxy because all of you guys are normal, nice, wonderful fans. But I see so many people who just get called like Disney shill, MCU shill. They're paying you to be nice. And I'm like, bro, listen to us talk about Secret Invasion if you want to know that we're definitely not Disney or Marvel shill. Exactly. We don't like this. We are not afraid to say it. Like,
no.
Like, honestly, like, I mean, like, obviously I wouldn't like want to get paid by a company under the table, like, as a shill, but like,
no.
I would also, that'd be kind of flattering. It's like, oh, would you like to be a Disney shill? Here's some Disney money. I'm like, oh my God, Disney, thank you.
Money. Oh my God, thank you.
If I was a shill, I could have someone move me out of this godforsaken apartment. Now, I could afford shill movers. All right, let's move to a more positive place. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Do we have anyone here who could weigh in on that?
Can anyone say anything good about this masterpiece of a film? My God. It's been so long since Marvel made like a really, really like emotionally impacting. Well, actually, no, WandaVision, obviously, I guess it wasn't so long ago, but like it just felt like a hug, you know, like a hug from like James Gunn for like, you know, for his love for the Guardian series as well, because like this is his last Marvel movie, but like it just felt like a hug for humanity, and it made you just like really reflect on, you know, the power of friendship, the power of like connection, and like, you know, just seeing Rocket meeting Rocket's old friends, his animal friends, and seeing exactly what formed him to be such an angry person. It was just like, man, like this is like we're seeing like the cycles of abuse and like the consequences of abuse, and like it was such an emotionally impactful movie that I'm just like, yo, Bob Iger, why are you saying those things? Have you not seen Guardians 3? Like, this is such a masterpiece of a movie.
It was so beautiful. I mean, that is a Marvel movie where I can honestly say that it was like I was flip-flopping back and forth from happy tears to sad tears to laughing tears the whole movie, like not a dry second of eyes during the whole thing. Like, it was such a roller coaster, and every single moment was just like beautiful. I loved obviously the ending with the Florence and the Machine, Dog Days Are Over. I cried so hard that whole thing, because just seeing everybody walk away but still love each other and like have all their new purposes, and they're going in different directions but they'll always be family. Oh God, it was beautiful. I loved that movie so much.
Most recently, we have Loki season 2.
Yes, Loki season 2.
I have a ton to say.
Yes, let me go.
What an incredible, what an incredible piece of storytelling to take a variant of a character who has canonically died in the MCU and make us care about him through 2 seasons of television, and then ultimately sew up his fate for now in a way that does not diminish the what has been established in the greater MCU, but instead places that variant who still has God powers in a position of watchman or over the sacred timeline. I thought it was beautiful. I loved it. The storytelling, the arc for Loki to me is, I know it's low hanging fruit to call that out, but when you stick the landing, you deserve some claps.
100%. Like, I agree with you 100%. Like, especially like after people were so divisive about like how Marvel killed off Loki in Infinity War, people are like, oh my God, this wasn't like the true, like a good fate for such a amazingly beloved character. But like taking his variant and just making him like the center of the MCU, which is like, oh my God, like this is the perfect ending. If we never see Tom Hiddleston again as Loki, I would totally understand, because like it's like the perfect mic drop of an ending. So
but he has been saying in interviews, he was like, I want to play this character till I'm dead. Like, I love Loki. So I think we might see him again.
Yeah, I suspect.
I'd be down for that.
I suspect. And then finally, we have some things that haven't come out yet, but the last piece of content that came out, we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, The Marvels. The Marvels is out. The Marvels is with us. And I think, you know what? Let's all say something nice about something we liked about the Marvels, because it's our last one. So let's all chime in.
I really love the action sequences, the fights. Like, I thought that Marvel brought their A game with like how they did a lot of these, because like freaking Kamala Khan was like flying around kicking ass, and like that whole the whole that hip hop sequence when like they're fighting in the Khan residence. Like, it was just,
yes.
I like that vibe.
That was really cool.
And I think that we should capture more of that vibe in other projects. So like, yeah, I thought like Nia DaCosta like kicked ass at that for sure.
The part that I laughed so hard at from that scene was obviously when Carol just like falls out of the sky and Nick goes, oh, it's okay, it's just Carol.
Yes.
Oh my God, I cracked. I was like,
yes.
I was in a press screening of that, and like I was the only person cracking up. Like it was just so funny. I love that part. It was so funny.
It's just Carol.
Truly, that was truly amazing. It was so funny, so funny. I really loved. I said so much about it last week, so I just wanted to point out the culture of people that sing as communication. That was so random and funny to me. Like that, like they communicate through song, and I mean, it was like kind of hokey, but it worked for me. It was like, I don't know. I know that's been maligned, but I enjoyed that. Like, it was. I guess
fun.
I'm a sucker for some musical dance number, and also there's no secret here. Brie Larson is very special to me. And when she was in her Captain Marvel gown, oh my God.
Dude, the costuming in that scene in particular was so banger, but her dress was obviously like the best one. I was like, damn, I want to get that in like a purple color for me.
Yes. Guys, let's get on it. We need a dressmaker to make Whitney a Captain Marvel purple gown.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, we're missing. We talked about Kamala. We talked about Carol. We got to talk about the third biggest part of this movie.
Oh my god!
Kate Bishop.
Oh, yes.
I mean, come on, guys.
Yes, you're
like
right.
my god, Kate Bishop was in the
Monica.
post-credit scene. I got to see her on the big screen. I wanted to hug my screen, and I paid my theater person an extra $20 for showing me Kate Bishop.
That's so nice.
So yes.
They must have really been tickled by that. They must have really. They're like, why is this man throwing cash at me? And you're like, I want to hug her. I love it. Good job, us guys.
It got me so hyped though for Young Avengers. Like obviously,
Yes,
like,
I'm so excited for their project.
Yes.
It made me genuinely so hyped, and them just like name dropping, like I think Ant-Man has a daughter. Hell yeah, he does, and she has cool ass powers too.
Marvel,
Get in.
make that a movie, not a Disney Plus series. Make that a whole freaking
Yes.
movie, please.
Absolutely, absolutely. A hard agree. Well, guys, I gotta keep packing. I gotta pack.
Oh
Gotta
yes.
keep packing, and you can't start slacking now.
That's right. I'm
Oh,
gonna get in
bars.
big trouble if I don't get back to packing. But I've had so much fun with my pals today.
I've
Thank
had so
you.
much
Here,
fun with
buddy.
my pals.
Thank you guys for hanging with me. Thank you to everyone watching.
Where can they find you, Tommy?
They can find me at Tommy Bechtold on all platforms. And I have a new web series coming out called HR, with created by Jackie DeRuthi and Pat Babbitt, who are husband and wife. It's so funny, but it stars Nico Santos, who played
Guardians 3.
who was in Guardians 3 as was it program? God,
Recorder Thiel.
Recorder Thiel. Nico Santos is in it. Come on, me and Nico Santos. I go from interviewing at junkets to co-starring with him. Is there anything I can't do? I'm so great. So look for HR.
Dude, you're all over the place, buddy.
I saw a little sneak peek of it yesterday when I was over there packing, and it is funny. Everyone go check it out.
Thanks, MT. Where can they find you on the World Wide Web?
Oh, I'm at Mastertainment on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you guys. And also, I'm on Heavy Spoilers. Like, shout out to Paul from Heavy Spoilers, that amazing man.
I love you, Paul.
Give
You're
me a job.
incredible.
Mwah. We do that to each other. That's just what we do. It's a brotherly bond. Just kidding. That's not true. I'm so sorry, Kiss you, Paul.
And I'm Whitney, and you can find me at Whitney Puppy everywhere except for YouTube, where I'm Whitney Vision, the Scarlet
Ooh,
Witch.
go.
What's up?
Beautiful.
Best
Hey,
Rick and
you
Morty
guys.
breakdowns in the business. Let's go, Whitney Vision.
Yes. The GOAT. Guys, thanks for being our pals. And remember, check on your pals. Make sure your pals are okay.
Yes.
Make sure that they haven't been injured by a hand-spun potato.
That's right. If you see a pal with mangled hands, check on Jebediah and Edna. Make sure they're not.
But leave your technology at the door, okay? We don't need to see that.
Farewell, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys.
Bye.
Peace out.